he said, Kelsey, like, what can I do? And I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean? What can you do? And I guess his lawyer, Holly, per him, has said that he goes, can I invest in a? Or do you need a job? Do you want to work with me? And I'm like, huh? Why do I need to work with you, Tory? I'm sorry, but no, I don't want any correlation with you. And he said, do you need me to get you a lawyer? And I said, I don't need you to do anything for me, Tory. Per him, Shawn Holly advised him to word it that way.
Hey guys, it's your girl, Crystal Nicole. So as you all saw, what's being reported now is that Tory has filed an ethics complaint against his previous attorney, Shawn Holly. And one of the reasons he listed was a conflict of interest due to the fact that she did a show called Reasonable Doubt that is connected to Jay-Z. Now, the problem with this is from my research, I can't find like Jay-Z being connected to this show as in like being a producer or anything. In fact, it was the producer of the show who was inspired by Jay-Z's album, Roc Nation. I said Roc Nation. Inspired by Jay-Z's album, Reasonable Doubt. And that's the reason why it was called that. And he also like named some of the shows like after his songs or whatever. So it was just an inspiration thing that Jay-Z was being used, but Jay-Z himself was not really connected to the show. Now, if I'm wrong, somebody let me know where I'm wrong at, because I couldn't find anything where Jay-Z was actually connected to the Reasonable Doubt show for it to be a conflict of interest for Shawn to be doing the show and also being Tory's attorney. So that's a problem there, and that might be the reason why I guess when he tried to file this the first time, it was rejected, because there's no truth to that claim. However, everything else that he's mentioned about Shawn Holly does need to be questioned, and her ethics and all of that needs to come into question, because for one, Shawn Holly had decided to, I need to go back up. Okay. Shawn Holly had dropped out as Tory's attorney because of that 80-minute interview where Kelsey claimed that when she met with Tory to get her things the next day after the shooting, he had asked if she needed a job, did she need help paying for an attorney, etc. And she claimed that he had said that his attorney, Shawn Holly, had told him to word it that way, as you all heard in the beginning of this video. So due to this, Shawn claimed that there was an ethics problem, even though the claim was false, and she withdrew as Tory's attorney. Now, the problem here is that this conversation took place the next day after Tory was released and had come to drop off Kelsey's items. There had been no mention of Megan being shot yet. Tory hadn't been charged for a shooting yet, and we didn't hear anything about Shawn Holly being his attorney until after he was charged in October, almost 3 months after the incident. They said he hired her in October, so she wasn't even his attorney in July when this conversation allegedly occurred to Kelsey for her to have told Tory anything. So this was obviously a lie, like Shawn vehemently denied in the email she sent to Tory about this. The judge wouldn't even allow prosecutors to add a bribery claim when they tried, and Kelsey denied bribes to not speak, and she was very vague when they tried to get her to talk about it, while she sat there repeatedly telling them that she had been dishonest in her interview. So Shawn Holly dropping out due to this false claim that could have easily been disproven to be false is suspicious. Now, add that with her no longer wanting to go with the Kelsey defense right before trial began, while offering no other defense alternatives that we heard of, after going so hard herself against Kelsey, Megan, and even the detective at that preliminary hearing. She also used Kelsey as her defense. So that's suspicious. Now, add that with her not even being there to represent him at trial, for her to even care about what Kelsey said during a trial that she wasn't even a part of, to use this as an excuse to drop out as his attorney. So that's also suspicious. Then let's add on her not even knowing what Kelsey had said during that interview when she wrote this email to withdraw as Tory's attorney. So let's talk about that now. Why would Tory offer to get Kelsey a job or to help pay for an attorney for her? Well, for one, Kelsey was sitting there crying about Megan and the whole team icing her out. She had no place to stay. She was in a hotel and she didn't know what to do.
Reverse, rewind. Prior to me even taking that meeting, it was like her team, they were treating me very weird, very strange, and I didn't understand why. I was reaching out to her team, I'm asking them, like, what am I supposed to do? I'm staying in the hotel, and finally, I think I sent, like, a long message, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, what am I, me and Megan should be moving as a unit. Like, why am I being kind of pushed out? Y'all told me to move. Where am I supposed to go home to? Mm-hmm. Megan had asked me to get rid of my apartment, and that's what I did. I've always had my own things, own stuff, always pick, that. So she asked me to get rid of it, and I did. And I finally sent like a text, and it was just like, this isn't right. And Megan finally had called. I think they kind of sensed like Kelsey,
So he offered to help her with a new job since she was clearly fired by Megan. The offer for an attorney is yet another red flag that she was guilty, as why would Tory offer an attorney to help Kelsey sue him over the alleged injuries he gave her, which she did, or to go after him at trial, which she attempted to do through prosecutors before taking it all back on the stand? So that doesn't even make sense. Why else would Tory offer Kelsey an attorney besides thinking that she might need it if Megan decided to come after her? I mean, she had already fired her, put her out of her house, ended their friendship. One would assume Kelsey thought that this was the next steps. So, being that he caused all this to happen and had apologized to both because of that, one would assume he felt guilty and wanted to do what he could to help her out. How could anybody listen to this conversation and really believe that this is Tory attempting to bribe her to not talk? The last thing I'm going to do if I'm guilty of beating your ass and shooting your friend is to offer to get you an attorney. To do what exactly? Confirm the illegal bribery I'm attempting? Like, get real. So Shawn may not be connected to the whole Jay-Z thing through the Reasonable Doubt show, which is probably why this got denied before. I don't know. But her ethics and reasonings for what she did does need to be questioned. Because I'd really like to know why Shawn didn't have the DNA retested since they had the results for a while before trial. When exactly did she speak to Quan and get his statement, as we never heard it at the preliminary hearing, and magically we didn't even get to hear it at trial. It was heard after the verdict. So when did she know what he was going to say? Why exactly didn't she want to use the Kelsey defense when she's the one who started it and went hard on it when she did? What changed? Why didn't she request for Kelsey's DNA to be tested? Was she not allowed to do that? What other defense was she going to go with if not the Kelsey defense? What other defense could there be? So this is the problem here, that it just seems that Shawn Holly dropping out, Shawn Holly not even being there to represent him at trial, like all of these things just seems suspicious, and I feel like he does deserve a better explanation, like for why she didn't want to go with the Kelsey defense, why she really considered this an ethics problem and she wasn't even at the trial to defend him in the first place. Like, I feel like she needs to answer some questions regarding the real reasons why she decided to back out of this case, because really that's really what she did. So we really don't know if any of her explanations for like why she wasn't even at the trial, were honest or not. Were they? Shawn? Come to the front, child. But anyway, yeah. So that's really all I have to say about that. That's really all that's going on here with this situation. I don't know how this is going to go. And like I said, if I am wrong about the Reasonable Doubt show and Jay-Z is actually connected in some other type of way, then please let me know and I will correct this video. But for now, I can't seem to find anything to where he's connected to Shawn Holly in any type of way. So if he is attempting to try to get this passed again, I'm not sure if using the same reasonable doubt example is going to work. He's going to need some other type of connection to Jay-Z and Shawn Holly to claim there was a conflict of interest. But as far as everything else he's going after for her because of her dropping out and Kelsey, yada, 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 etc., yes, all of that needs to be looked into. So leave your thoughts below. And as always, free Tory.